Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of our Cambodia travel series. Cambodia is a country full of history, natural beauty, and vibrant culture. We spent 8 amazing days exploring this incredible country, visiting the ancient city of Siem Reap, the breathtaking Coron Island, and the lively capital, Phnom Penh. Throughout this series, we are going to show you all the best places to visit, share our stories, and give you some travel tips to help you plan your own adventure to Cambodia. In today's video, we will take you through our journey from Kuala Lumpur to Siem Reap and explore some of the must-visit places in this historic city. Our flight to Siem Reap was with Airasia, departing from Kuala Lumpur International Airport Terminal 2 at 12 noon. Total time from Kuala Lumpur to Siem Reap was around 1.5 hours. As we started descending into Siem Reap, we got this epic view out the window. It's Southeast Asia's largest freshwater lake, Tonle Sap, stretching out beneath us. It's part of the Mekong River system and one of the most diverse and productive ecosystems in the world. We landed safely at the Siem Reap Angkor International Airport, which was newly built and opened in 2023. The architecture from the outside looks traditional Khmer design combined with a fresh, modern touch. After getting off the plane, we felt the warm tropical air right away because the arrival corridor is open air. Along the way, we saw clean and well-maintained washrooms, which are great if you need to freshen up after the flight. This corridor leads directly to the immigration section. Cambodia offers a visa on arrival for most countries. However, to make the process smoother, we applied for an e-visa through Cambodia's official immigration website. The process was super convenient and we received our e-visa certificate within 3 days. Before entering Cambodia, it's also recommended to submit the Cambodia e-arrival card, which can be done online within 7 days prior to arrival. But don't worry, if you forget, there are tablets available at the airport immigration section, so you can still submit the e-arrival card on site. For a smooth immigration process, we printed all the necessary documents, e-visa certificate, hotel bookings, return tickets, and e-arrival card. But unfortunately, it was the worst experience so far. At the immigration counter, the officer redirected us to another table where we were questioned about our travel from Kuala Lumpur and whether we are working in Malaysia. They even took photos of our documents and sent them via WhatsApp to an unknown contact. Another officer then repeated the same process, asking the same questions and taking more photos. The whole thing took about 20 minutes even though there wasn't queue and felt unnecessary, especially since we had all the required documents. In the end, we were allowed to enter the country, but the experience left us confused and frustrated. Later, we heard that this happens to most South Asian and African passport holders, aiming to prevent people from entering on tourist visas for purposes like illegal employment. So if you are someone from South Asia or the African region visiting Cambodia, make sure to bring all the required documents in print form to avoid or minimize hassles at immigration. Because of this frustrating situation, we couldn't capture much of the arrival hall at Siem Reap Angkor International Airport, which looked very impressive and modern. When you exit the airport, you will see areas for airport taxis, buses, and e-hailing services. On the right, there's a Maybank ATM for cash withdrawals, a convenience store, and booths selling SIM cards. The SIM card packages at the airport seemed a bit pricey compared to the ones available in Siem Reap downtown, and surprisingly, this international airport doesn't offer free Wi-Fi. So we recommend buying a SIM card from outside if you can, unless you don't have any other option. From the airport to Siem Reap, there are several transportation options. Grab service is available, but when we checked the price for a tuk-tuk ride, it showed $16, which felt expensive. Plus, traveling 47 kilometers in a tuk-tuk under the hot weather didn't seem like a comfortable option. There's also an airport bus to the Siem Reap downtown on a fixed schedule and costing $8 per person. From there, you will need to take another tuk-tuk or grab taxi to your hotel. We were about to buy the tickets from the airport bus, which was scheduled to depart in 40 minutes, but luckily we got a good offer from a private taxi driver, and after some bargaining, agreed on $20 from the initial $25 for a direct ride to our hotel. The ride was spacious, super comfortable, much faster than the other options, and the driver also looked very professional and friendly. If you're traveling as a couple or a family, we highly recommend using a private taxi for a more convenient and comfortable way to get into Siem Reap. We booked this solo hotel in Siem Reap for 2 nights. Since we plan to spend most of our time exploring outside, this hotel was a great value for money, especially with breakfast included. After checking in and freshening up, we were really starving and wanted to try some authentic Khmer style food. We found a restaurant called Golden Cafe, which had great Google reviews for its Khmer dishes. The inside of the restaurant had a super fancy look with a unique ambience. They serve a free pot of jasmine green tea along with cold towels for every customer while waiting for the food. We ordered the famous Cambodian dish, fish amok, spicy fried rice, a cocktail, and a fresh juice. The food was amazing, delicious, affordable, and full of flavor. This restaurant is highly recommended. After dinner, we explored the Siem Reap town area by walking around and enjoyed the local vibes. Later, we headed to the Siem Reap night market, a bustling spot filled with souvenirs, crafts, clothes, packaged food items, and snacks. The good thing is that the prices are quite affordable and you can get even better deals by bargaining. We were looking for a motorbike to rent for our Angkor Wat tour in next day and found a rental shop with different options to choose from. The owner was very friendly and helpful. We highly recommend this place if you're looking to rent a bike in Siem Reap. Since our day 2 was all about our Angkor Wat tour, we will not go into full detail in this vlog. But here's a quick highlight. We started early to catch the famous Angkor Wat sunrise. Watching the first light of the day hit the ancient temple was a beautiful experience. From there, we spent the entire day exploring some of the most breathtaking temples in the Angkor complex, each with its own unique history and stunning architecture. We'll be sharing the full Angkor Wat experience from sunrise to exploring hidden temple gems in the next vlog. So if you don't want to miss it, make sure to subscribe to our channel. After a long and exhausting day walking around Angkor Wat, all we wanted was a relaxing full body spa treatment to recover. We found the Spa Siem Reap, which had amazing Google reviews, and it definitely lived up to the hype. The place was super clean, well maintained, and friendly, professional staff with affordable pricing for their treatments. We decided to go for the 60-minute couples aromatherapy treatment. We were welcomed with refreshing drinks and cold towels. The atmosphere was peaceful and the massage was one of the most relaxing experiences we have ever had. The perfect way to end a long day of exploring. If you're visiting Siem Reap, this spa is a must-try for a truly refreshing experience. Then we headed for dinner because we were really starving after that 1-hour spa treatment. We found a nice restaurant nearby and decided to try some more authentic Khmer food. After dinner, we went to the pub street, the most lively and happening place in Siem Reap. The vibe was completely different from the quiet temples we explored earlier. Bright neon lights, loud music, and packed with travelers enjoying the nightlife. There were tons of bars, restaurants, and street performances, which is a great place to experience Siem Reap's nightlife. Just in front of the pub street, there was a supermarket and we wanted to check out the local products, but it was mostly imports rather than local items. Next to the supermarket, there was this green market, a food court with a variety of small shops offering Khmer, barbecue, Japanese, Korean, Thai, and other cuisines. The next day, we had a quick breakfast and set out to explore more of Siem Reap as it was our last few hours here before heading to our next destination in Cambodia. Our first stop was Perah Promroath Pagoda, located in the central area. It's a functioning Buddhist monastery with a beautiful Khmer-style pagoda and a courtyard filled with statues portraying various Buddhist beliefs. The entrance is free and it was worth visiting this beautiful and colorful place before leaving Siem Reap. Then we stopped at the Siem Reap Royal Independence Gardens, a beautiful and green public park in the city. This garden is known for its tall ancient trees, well-maintained walkways, and a relaxing surrounding. It's also home to this shrine, which is an important spiritual site for locals. We walked around and enjoyed the shades. It's a great place to take a short break. Then we rushed back to the hotel to grab our bags because our bus to Phnom Penh was at 1:45 p.m. To get there quickly, we hopped into a motorbike-style tuk-tuk, which was such a fun and thrilling way to end our time in Siem Reap. We really wish we had more time to explore this beautiful city, but the excitement doesn't stop here. Our next adventure takes us to the stunning Coron Island, so stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to our channel to follow our journey. See you in the next chapter. Until then, bye bye.